Hello everyone, a very good evening to all of you. Welcome to Oliveboard. Welcome to the PFRDA session on costing revision. This is our fourth session and we'll be discussing about a lot of numerical questions related to costing in this particular video. Okay. So guys, here is the agenda for today. We'll be discussing 30 MCQ questions, that too all the numerical ones, so that you are not having any kind of fear factor with the numericals. Plus we'll be doing the concept discussions as well related to these videos. Okay, and let's see who is hitting 30 by 30 today. And in the last few slides there are higher level difficulty question as well in this particular video, तो वीडियो के एंड तक बने रहिएगा. Okay, let's start the discussion. The very first question for today: you are given the following information. What will be the total prime cost? Let's start with the easy question. Here you need to ascertain the total of prime cost. What do you think, guys, will be the prime cost here? A simple and a straight question. So they have given you opening stock of material, purchase, closing stock, direct labor, supervisor salary, overheads, direct expenses. What will be the prime cost here? I hope you guys remember the format of cost sheet. Look, so prime cost is nothing but also called as primary cost. So here I need to take direct material, I need to take direct wages and direct expenses. Right? In direct material, we take direct material consumed always. So how to calculate direct material consumed? Opening stock plus purchase minus my closing stock. So 4,000 plus 16,000 minus the 8,000. This is my direct material consumed, which is nothing but 12,000. So 12,000 direct material consumed I am having, direct wages I am having worth. Direct wages or direct labor is 7,000. Indirect expenses is 6,000 here. So the total of 12,000, 7,000 and 6,000. The correct choice here will be option B, 25,000. Okay. Next question. If the sales in an organization is 1 lakh, fixed cost is 12,000, profit is 8,000, you need to find the PV ratio. You need to find the PV ratio, profit volume ratio. Now what is the formula to calculate profit volume ratio? Contribution divided by sales into 100, right? Contribution divided by sales into 100 is the formula. We do have sales 1 lakh. Do we have contribution in the question? Yes, we do have contribution. What is contribution? Profit plus fixed cost. So they have given the fixed cost of 12,000 and profit of 8,000. So 20,000 is my contribution. So 20,000 divided by 1 lakh into 100, 20% is my PV ratio here. Okay, 20% is my PV ratio here. Option C here is the correct choice. Next question. Here you need to compute the EOQ. What do you mean by EOQ? Economic order quantity. What will be the economic order quantity? They have given you the following information. Annual consumption 24,000 units. Ordering cost 10 rupee per order. Purchase price 100 rupee per unit. And the carrying cost 5% of the purchase price. You need to calculate the EOQ here. Now these questions will be very, very important for your examination, both for your phase 1 and your phase 2. What is the formula to calculate EOQ? 2 multiplied by annual consumption multiplied by ordering cost divided by carrying cost per unit per annum. That's the formula. Can you guys do it now? Look, 2 multiplied by annual consumption means 24,000. Multiplied by ordering cost 10 rupee per order divided by carrying cost. Carrying cost is 5% of purchase price. So 100 ka 5% is 5 rupee here. What will be the answer here, guys? A straight question, a formula based question. The correct choice here will be option A. Option A here will be the correct choice. Just a plain formula based question. Next is the, if the cost of work certified is 70,000, cost of work uncertified is 30,000. Similarly, the value of work certified is 90,000 and the value of work uncertified is 37,000. What do you think, by which amount should the contract account be credited? This is from the contract costing. This is from the contract costing. So they have given us the cost of work certified and work uncertified. They have also given us the value of work certified and work uncertified. The cost of work certified is 70,000, whereas the cost of work uncertified is 30,000. The value of work certified is 90,000, whereas the value of work uncertified is 37,000. They are asking us what will be the amount with which the contract account will be credited. With which the contract account will be credited. What is the difference between cost and value? Profit element, right? So we always take work certified on value basis, inclusive of profits, whereas we always take work uncertified because it is not certified yet by the engineer. How can I account for the profit element? Right? That's why 90,000 plus 30,000, this is what I will be crediting in my contract account. Option E here will be the correct choice. Okay, work certified will be always taken at cost plus profit, that is value, and work uncertified will always be taken on the basis of cost. I hope it's clear now. Next, Z Limited made the sales during the certain period of 1 lakh rupee. So they have given us the sales of 1 lakh rupee. The net profit is 10,000. The fixed overhead is 15,000. You are required to calculate the sales to earn a profit of 15,000. You want to also earn a profit of 15,000 on sales. So what do you think? How much sales I need to do if I want to earn a profit of 15,000 here? How much sales I need to do if I want to earn a profit of 15,000? The first thing you need to know here is, what is my PV ratio? PV ratio formula is contribution upon sales into 100. That's my PVR. Right? What is my contribution? It is nothing but the total of net profit and fixed overhead. So as of now, my current PV ratio is 25,000 divided by 1 lakh into 100. 25%. So can I say that PV ratio is 25%, the same amount of PV ratio, the same percentage of PV ratio I'll be maintaining in my coming sales as well. Now how much I need to cover in terms of fixed cost? I need to cover 15,000. That's my fixed cost. What is my desired profit? I desire to earn a profit of 15,000. That's my desired profit. So this much I need to cover from my PVR. So 30,000 divided by 25%, right? 30,000 divided by 25%, which comes to 1,20,000 here. Option B here will be the correct choice. Okay, option B is the perfect choice here. Next question. What would be the treatment of the following in the process account? What do you think, guys? How much will go to the process account? A very simple, a very direct question. A very simple, a very direct question. How much will be transferred to the process account for raw material? I have opening stock, I have purchase, I have closing stock. So guys, the concepts will never change. We always transfer direct material on consumption basis. So 5,000 plus 12,000 minus 8,000. The consumption here will be option C, 9,000. It will be net debited by 9,000. The concepts will remain same irrespective of the chapters until and unless they clearly ask raw material purchased. We always take raw material consumed. Next question. The PV ratio of the company is 50%. The margin of safety is 40%. If the present sales is 30 lakhs, then what will be the break-even point? PV ratio 50%, margin of safety 40%, total sales 30 lakhs. What will be the break-even point in rupees? Simple question. If you know the relationship. Only if you know the relationship, it will be a simple question. Otherwise, it will be difficult. If my total sales is 100%, out of that I am having 40% as margin of safety. What about the rest of the 60%? It must be break-even point sales. So 30 lakhs is nothing but my total sales. Now can you tell me the correct choice? What will be my BEP? A very direct question if you know the relationship. If you don't know the relationship, it will be difficult. So out of the total 30 lakhs, 40% is the MOS sales, rest of the 60% is my BEP sales. The correct answer here will be option B, 18 lakhs. 30 lakhs multiplied by 60%. The moment they give me percentages, let's suppose PV ratio 50%. So I won't just read PV ratio 50%. I will also read, okay, variable cost ratio is also 50%. The moment they tell me margin of safety 40%, that's fine. You need to read between the lines as well. BEP must be 60%. That's why total sales is 100%. Right? If you think like that, questions will be easy. If you don't think like that, questions will be difficult. It's all about your perspective, right? Your perspection. If your perspection changes, the difficulty level will also vary. Next question. The selling price of the product is 32. Selling price per unit is 32. Variable cost ratio is 50%. Matlab PV ratio is also 50%. Fixed cost is 96,000. Units sold are 10,000 units. You need to calculate the margin of safety in percentage. You need to calculate here the margin of safety in percentage. You need to calculate here the margin of safety in percentage. What do you think, guys, the correct choice here? As per your opinion, margin of safety in percentage. So I can see that my contribution per unit is 16 rupee. How many units are there? 10,000. That means 16 into 10,000. This will be my contribution in value. 1,16,000. What is my fixed cost? 96,000. What will be my profit here? $64,000. Now you need to apply the formula to calculate margin of safety, and then you will be computing the percentage of margin of safety, a long method. Okay, the moment you came to know that variable cost ratio is 50%, that means PVR is also 50%. Total sales is always 100. If you are able to compute the break-even sales percentage, then you can also compute the MOS percentage. That will directly be a balancing figure, right? What is the BP sales? 96,000 my fixed cost divided by PVR. What is my PVR here? 50%. So can I say that my BP sales is nothing but 1,92,000. That is my BP sales. Now I already know my total sales. 32 rupees is the per unit price multiplied by 10 units. So 32 multiplied by 10,000. This is my total sales. 3,20,000. Out of 3,20,000, 1,92,000 is my break-even sales. That's 60%. That means the remaining 40% is nothing but my margin of safety. So I just calculated the break-even sales percentage and I arrived at the margin of safety percentage. यहाँ पे बहुत ज़्यादा कैलकुलेशन आई डोंट हैव टू डू. यहाँ पे मुझे इतनी ज़्यादा कैलकुलेशन नहीं करनी पड़ेगी, डायरेक्टली आंसर आएंगे. द करेक्ट चॉइस हियर विल बी ऑप्शन ए. Next question related to standard costing. Though it is related to standard costing, still we can attempt it. Okay. Let's quickly read the question. During September, 300 labor hours were worked. So we have worked 300 labor hours, right? We have worked 300 labor hours for a total cost of 4,800. So can I say that the actual hours that I worked is, the actual cost basically is 4,800. Yes, Gagan, possible है ना? Even if you are from an engineering background, it is possible. Okay. You just need to change your strategy. In yesterday's video, I have covered a strategy for you guys. Those who are from engineering background, please do watch the part 3 of costing PFRDA series. At the end I have covered a special strategy for you. Okay, बहुत सारे लोग यहाँ पे engineers हैं. So they have given that during September 300 labor hours, we have worked 300 labor hours. That is actual, because we have actually worked it. The cost was 4,800, right? The cost was 4,800. No, this is not a recorded video. Okay, this is not a recorded video, this is a live video. Okay. The variable overhead expenditure variance was 600. Variable overhead expenditure variance is 600 adverse. In the bracket we can see A, that means it is adverse. So maybe this is what is the meaning of variable overhead expenditure variance. समझना बात को. हमको लग रहा था कि एक्सपेंडिचर स्टैंडर्ड के बराबर होगा, बट ज्यादा हो गया होगा, एक्चुअल में ज्यादा हो गया होगा, तभी तो एडवर्स आया है. भाई एक्सपेंस एडवर्स कब हो सकता है? जब आपने ज्यादा खर्चा कर दिया. एडवर्स मतलब 100 रुपए का सोचा था पर 120 रुपए का खर्चा कर दिया, तो 20 रुपए एडवर्स हो गया. आई थॉट माई एक्सपेंस विल बी 100 रुपी, बट आई इनकर्ड 120 इन एक्चुअल, सो 20 विल बी एडवर्स. यहां पे हमको एक्चुअल गिवन है 4,800, तो बताओ स्टैंडर्ड कितना सोचा होगा? 600 तो एडवर्स है, बताओ स्टैंडर्ड कितना सोचा होगा? व्हाट इज द अमाउंट ऑफ स्टैंडर्ड हियर? कैन एनीवन टेल मी? Can anyone tell me the amount of standard here, standard cost? My actual cost is 4800. I thought the standard will be much lesser. However, the actual cost was overstated by 600. Yes, 4200 सोचा होगा. Standard निकला कितना? 4800 निकला. तभी तो एडवर्स आया होगा. यहां तक हमारा एनालिसिस हो गया. आगे बढ़ते हैं. Overheads are assumed to be related to direct labor hours of active working. Doesn't matter, हम तो भी यही मानते हैं. What was the standard cost per labor hour? Standard cost, sir, वो तो 4200 है. Per labor hour, how many hours we worked? 300 hours. So 4200 is the standard cost divided by 300 hours that we worked. The correct choice here will be option A, 14 rupees. Okay. I hope जिन लोगों को स्टैंडर्ड कॉस्टिंग नहीं भी आता होगा उनको भी एटलीस्ट 60 to 70% तो क्वेश्चन समझ में आया होगा, राइट. सो देयर इज नथिंग टू हैव अ फियर इन माइंड कि सर स्टैंडर्ड कॉस्टिंग डिफिकल्ट होता है. डेफिनेटली इट्स डिफिकल्ट चैप्टर. हाउएवर वी कैन स्टिल अटेम्प्ट इट बाय यूजिंग कॉमन सेंस. ओके, डोंट लेट द टेक्निकल जार्गन्स क्रिएट अ मेस इन योर माइंड. ओके, जिन्होंने कभी स्टैंडर्ड कॉस्टिंग नहीं पढ़ा होगा 50-60% तो तुम लोगों को भी समझ में आया होगा, राइट. तो सोचो इतना भी डिफिकल्ट नहीं होता होगा. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, इफ द पीवी रेशियो इज 80%, द मार्जिन ऑफ सेफ्टी सेल्स इज 20,000. कैलकुलेट द फिक्स कॉस्ट इफ द सेलिंग प्राइस पर यूनिट इज 5, द कॉन्ट्रीब्यूशन इज 40,000. You need to calculate here the fixed cost. We know that the sales price is 5 rupee. Variable cost we don't know. Contribution is 40,000. We know the PVR as well, 80%. Obviously we know the variable cost as well, 20%, which is 1 rupee here. 5 ka 20% will be 1 rupee. So my contribution should ideally be 4 rupee multiplied by 10,000 units. So contribution is 40,000 accordingly, right? Do I know the fixed cost? No, I don't know the fixed cost. Do I know the profit? अब fixed cost निकालनी है, so you need to know the profit. What do you think, guys? How can I compute the profit directly? Any suggestions? Is there any way so that I can directly compute the profit? They have given me the margin of safety sales, and if you guys have attended the paid class, you must have learned a term or a line. Whatever I earned on margin of safety sales, whatever marginal safety sales is contributing, it is directly contributing to profit. Why? Because fixed cost I have already covered it on the break even sales. So margin of safety sales, whatever contribution the margin of safety sales is bringing, it is directly contributing to profit. So we are having PV ratio, we have margin of safety, 20,000 rupees multiplied by 80% is my PV ratio. So I'm getting 80% contribution from 20,000 sales, which will directly contribute towards my profit only. So in this way I can ascertain my profit 16,000. Now fixed cost will be nothing but balancing figure, 40,000 minus 60,000. 40,000 minus 60,000. So the correct choice here will be 24,000. Option A. Option A here will be the correct choice. This is a complex question. This is an indirect question. Okay. So the series is both for your phase 1 and your phase 2 examination. It's not like that I'm just covering the phase 1. I'm aiming for both. Option A here will be the correct choice. Next question, what is the company's break even point? So they have given you the following data: selling price, variable cost, fixed cost, and the units. You need to calculate the break even point here. So what do you guys, what do you think should be the break even point? Let's see who calculates it. Acha, what is the formula to calculate break even point? fixed cost divided by contribution per unit. You know the fixed cost, 4.8 rupees your fixed cost per unit. The number of units you are already aware. So 4.8 multiplied by 10,000 will be your fixed cost, 48,000, divided by contribution per unit. Now you just need to calculate the contribution per unit. What will be my contribution per unit, guys? Selling price is 6 rupee. Variable cost is 1.2 and 0.4. So 1.2 plus 0.4, 1.6. So 4.4 will be my contribution per unit, right? 48,000 divided by 4.4. The answer here will be 10909 units. Option D. Option D here will be the correct choice. Okay. Option D here will be the correct choice. This is also a higher level question. Okay. Next. Now from the following information you need to calculate the amount of sales to earn a desired profit of 6,000. Fixed cost 12,000, selling price 12 rupee per unit, variable cost 9 rupee per unit. Another simple question, a direct question, a formula based question. How to calculate it? What is my fixed cost? What is my desired profit divided by my PVR? What will be the PVR? Selling price is 12, variable cost is 9. So can I say that 3 rupees is my contribution per unit? So 3 divided by 12, 25% is my PVR. What is my fixed cost here? 12,000 is my fixed cost given in the question. Desired profit 6,000 given in the question. PV ratio we have already computed, 25%. So 12,000 plus 6,000 divided by 25%, 72,000 is the amount of sales on which I'll be earning a profit of 6,000. Okay. Option D here will be the correct choice. Option D here will be the correct choice. Next question. Again the same data that we just discussed, selling price, variable cost, fixed cost, units. How many units must be sold? How many units you need to sell if the company wants to achieve a profit of 11,000 for the year? So questions like desired profit on how much sales or how much units are very, very important for your exam, okay? Based on the past trend. Again the same formula. What is my fixed cost here? I have already computed earlier. 4.8 rupee per unit multiplied by 10,000 units. That was my fixed cost, 48,000. Plus what is my desired profit? 11,000. I need to cover my fixed cost plus my desired profit. That much I need to cover, right? That much I need to cover. What is my contribution per unit? I think we have already computed. Selling price is 6 rupee. Variable cost is 1.2 plus 0.4 given in the question. So 4.4 rupees my contribution per unit, 4.4. The unit says 13,409 units, 13,409 unit. Okay. Option D here will be the correct choice. Option D. Next question. Same question, but it is now expected that the variable production cost, this particular cost, and the selling price will increase by 10%. So they both will increase by 10%. Fixed production cost, here is the fixed production cost, will increase by 25%. What will be the new break-even point? What will be the new BEP? Obviously, the new BEP will be the new fixed cost, because fixed cost is changing now, divided by new contribution per unit. Why? Because selling price and variable cost both are changing. So what is the new fixed cost here? ₹4 per unit plus 25%. So ₹4 plus 25% means ₹5 plus 0.8. So can I say that this is my new fixed cost? ₹5.8 per unit multiplied by 10,000 units, obviously the total number of units. So 58,000 is my new fixed cost. 58,000 is my new fixed cost, right? Divided by, what is my new contribution per unit this time? What do you think is my new contribution per unit this time? Selling price ₹6 plus 10%, ₹6.6. New selling price minus variable cost 0.4 वाली तो सेम है, 1.0 वाली is increasing by 10%, so 1.2 plus 10%, 1.32. This will be my new variable cost. So 6.6 minus 1.72. अब आप लोगों को लग रहा होगा सर ये एग्जाम में कैसे होगा, तो एग्जाम में आपके नंबर्स जो होंगे वो इतने टफ नहीं होंगे, ठीक है? कॉन्सेप्ट सेम रहेगा, नंबर्स टफ नहीं होंगे. द कॉन्सेप्ट विल बी सेम, however they will be giving you easy numbers in the rounded off format. So definitely आपको वहां पे कैलकुलेटर्स यूज करने की नीड नहीं पड़ेगी, उसके बिना भी आराम से हो जाएगा. ओके, द करेक्ट चॉइस हियर विल बी अच्छा 88 हो रहा है ना, 4.88 हो रहा है, मैंने गलती से 28 लिख दिया है. This is 4.88. Okay, the correct choice here will be option C, 11,885 units. जिनका आंसर नहीं आया हो कोई बात नहीं, बाद में कर सकते हो, पीडीएफ डाउनलोड करके आराम से कर लेना, कॉन्सेप्ट सेम रहेगा, ठीक है? आई कैन अंडरस्टैंड, बहुत सारी कैलकुलेशंस है, नो प्रॉब्लम एट ऑल. Next question. The following information is available regarding an organization: direct material purchase, consumed labor, expense, manufacturing overheads. You need to compute the prime cost here. What will be the prime cost here? Again a simple, a direct question. आराम से हो जाएगा. What will be the prime cost here, guys? Prime cost is nothing but the summation of direct material, labor and expenses, right? So material consumed, I need to take my material consumed 80,000, direct labor 50,000 and direct expenses 30,000. If I total these three, the answer will be 1,60,000. 1,60,000 here will be the correct choice, option A. Next question. Given that the margin of safety is 40,000 units, so they have given me the margin of safety which is 40,000 units. PV ratio is 60%. Can you determine the profit amount when the revenue of each unit is 4? A very simple question if you know the relationship. I know the fact that margin of safety sales multiplied by PV ratio will directly contribute to profit. will directly give a contribution equivalent to profit because there is no fixed cost, क्योंकि fixed cost I have already covered at break even point. So you just need to calculate here the margin of safety sales and you need to multiply it by the PV ratio. तो इसका यहाँ पे अमाउंट तो यहाँ पे सेकेंड्स में आ जाना चाहिए. ओके, इसका आंसर तो you should be able to compute in seconds now. What do you think guys? यहाँ पे करेक्ट आंसर क्या होने वाला है? ऑप्शन डी. MOS sales is nothing but 40,000 multiplied by 4 rupee whole multiplied by the PV ratio which is 60%. So the correct answer here will be 96,000. Okay, 96,000. Next question. How much will be the net debit towards the contract account if the opening value of machine is 80,000 and the closing value of machine is 60,000? Now you can easily solve this question if you know the format of contract costing, contract account. The opening value of machine is 80,000 and the closing value is 60,000. A very straight. जब मशीन लाया था तो 80,000 की वैल्यू थी, अब 60,000 की हो गई है तो इतना depreciate हो गई होगी. In the meanwhile, so 20,000 will be my net debit. Why net debit? Because debit all losses and expenses. This is an expense, so I need to debit it. Next question. Selling price 9 rupee per unit, variable cost 5 rupee, fixed cost 1 lakh rupee. What is the margin of safety in quantity if the budgeted units are 1 lakh? The budgeted units or the total units are 1 lakh. You need to find out the margin of safety in units. So if I know the BP units, I can easily calculate it. How to calculate BP units? Fixed cost 1 lakh divided by contribution per unit. Selling price is 9, variable cost is 5. That means my contribution per unit is 4. That means BP units are 25,000. 25,000 minus 1 lakh rupees, 75,000 will be my MOS unit. Option A. Option A here will be the correct choice. Next question. Mr. A owns a bakery which is used to make bakery items. Mr. A used to bake at most 50 units at a time. Customer A has given an order of 600 muffin. You need to calculate the batch size. What will be the batch size here? A very simple, a very direct question. What will be the batch size here? $50 is the batch size. Why? Because I cannot go beyond 50. Now what will be the number of batches? What do you think? How many number of batches I need to make? Yes, 12. Because the total order is of 600 muffin, and at most I can make a batch of 50 muffin in a particular batch. So I can say that 12 times I need to make. 12 times I need to make 50 muffins. In that way, I'll be able to make 600 muffins. 12 batches. Next question. To produce a particular batch of product, ABC Corporation paid its worker 12 rupee per hour. Paid, that means it is actual. So 12 rupee per hour is the hourly rate, actual hour rate. For 4,000 hours, that is actual hours worked. The standard quantity of work represented by the batch were 12.5. This is the standard rate which we calculated earlier. हमको लगा 12.5 रुपीज लगेंगे. कितने लगे? 12 रुपी लगे. ठीक है. आवर्स हमको लगे थे 4400 आवर्स लगेंगे. स्टैंडर्ड आवर्स लगे कितने? 4000 आवर्स लगे. यू नीड टू कैलकुलेट द लेबर एफिशिएंसी वेरिएंस. एफिशिएंसी. नाउ अप्लाई योर कॉमन सेंस. स्टैंडर्ड कॉस्टिंग चैप्टर है ना, जो काफी सारे लोगों ने, ऑलमोस्ट सभी ने नहीं पढ़ा होगा आई थिंक. Now we just need to apply common sense here and we need to try to solve this question. Though you guys have as of now haven't covered the standard costing chapter, still we can solve this question. The first thing you need to know is ये क्या पूछ रहे हैं, efficiency. मुझे कितने hours दिए थे? Standard hours 4400 दिए थे. In how many hours I completed the task? 4000 hours. Clearly written the question. So can you guys say that I am efficient? Am I efficient or not? Or inefficient? 4400 hours मिले थे, काम कर लिया मैंने 4000 घंटे में, काम कर लिया मैंने 4000 घंटे में. So yes, I am efficient. 4400 का काम मैंने 4000 hours में ही कर दिया. So what is the formula to calculate efficiency here? Standard hours multiplied by actual hours into standard rate. This is the actual formula for calculating the labor efficiency variance. So 4400 minus 4000 multiplied by 12.5. The correct answer here will be 5000. Okay, the correct answer here will be 5000. Acha, can you guys tell me, is this 5000 favorable or adverse? Is this favorable or adverse? अरे भाई 4400 का काम 4000 आवर्स में ही कर लिया तो फेवरेबल. यस अभिलाष, इट इज फेवरेबल. ऑप्शन बी हियर विल बी द करेक्ट चॉइस. ऑप्शन बी. मिले कितने थे? 4400 hours. I completed the work in 4000 hours itself. So this is favorable, right? What is the standard rate? 12.5. So here 5000 favorable hours is the correct choice. Okay. Next, what would be the cost of production? From the given table, you need to calculate the cost of production here. You need to calculate the cost of production here. So standard costing, guys, is a totally formula oriented chapter. You don't have to worry about it even if you are not able to understand standard costing. It is a formula oriented chapter. What will be the total production cost here? Cost of production. If you know the format of cost sheet only, then you can solve this question. Otherwise not. So first I need to compute my prime cost. So this will be my raw material consumed, 4000 plus 16,000 minus 8,000. This will be my prime cost. My prime cost will be 25,000. Then I need to add my factory overheads, 12,000. I need to make WIP adjustment, add opening stock of WIP, 9,000. Is there any closing stock of WIP? No. There is no closing WIP here, so nil. This will be my factory cost. 46,000 is my factory cost here, right? Plus supervisor salary, office and admin expense, 2,000. 48,000 here will be my cost of production. Okay, I need to add the supervisor salary as well. So option D here will be the correct choice. Okay, option D here will be the correct choice. Next question. What would be the amount of cost of goods available for sale? What would be the amount of cost of goods which is available for sale? Available for sale. So guys, you have already calculated the cost of production, which is nothing but 48,000. You just need to add the opening stock of finished goods, 7,000. That is your cost of goods which is available for sale. This is not cost of goods sold. This is cost of goods which is available for sale. The correct choice here will be 55,000. Okay, option A, 55,000. Very good, everyone. Can you guys tell me the amount of profit? What will be the amount of profit? Sales minus cost of sales. So we all know cost of goods available for sale. Last figure that we computed, 55,000, was 55,000, right? I need to deduct the closing stock of finished goods, 8,000. Salesman salary, selling and distribution overhead, I need to add salesman salary as well. I'll be getting 43,000 here as my cost of sales. What is my sales? 1 lakh. Sorry, this is not 43,000, right? 55,000 minus 8,000 plus 10,000. This is 57,000. Okay, my bad. 57,000 minus 1 lakh rupee my sales amount. This will be 43,000, which is nothing but my profit. This will be your profit, 43k. Okay, option D here will be the correct choice. Option D here will be the correct choice. Next question. Actual labor cost 19,800. Standard rate was 4.5 rupee per hour. Labor rate variance amounted to 225 rupees adverse. What will be the actual hours worked? A complicated question related to standard costing. Now you can solve this only if you know the formula here. The formula to calculate labor rate variance is nothing but actual rate minus standard rate multiplied by the actual hours. So you need to calculate actual hours here as stated in the question. You need to calculate the actual hours. So this will be balancing figure. 225 adverse is equal to, what will be the actual rate here? Can you guys calculate it? So do calculate it once. You will be getting the answer as 4350 option D. Okay, you'll be getting here 4350 option if you solve it mathematically. Okay. So guys, even if you haven't completed the standard costing chapter yet, no worries at all. You still have time. You can easily cover it. Okay. So that will be, I can say, you should cover it in the last only. Once you are done with the rest of the syllabus, then only you should cover. That's the best way to cover standard costing. Why? Because it's not having adequate weightage in the examination. Plus the formulas are too much, so that most of the students become uncomfortable with that particular chapter, and that's fine. You can get one question in the exam as well. Okay, so you can do it later on. You can just remember the formulas and the basic variances. In the paid batch as well, I'll be telling you the strategy to cover the standard costing soon. Okay, next question, you need to calculate the material price variance. This is the standard cost table. This is the actual results. Okay. So material price variance, what is the formula to calculate material price variance? Actual quantity multiplied by standard rate minus actual rate. What is my standard rate? In the standard table, they have given me 2 kg for 5 rupee per kg. That means 5 rupee is my standard rate. What will be my actual quantity here? Actual quantity is clearly given here. 1870 kg. 1870 kg. What will be my actual rate? They haven't mentioned it. actual rate per kg will be nothing but the actual cost divided by actual quantity. So actual quantity I already know, 1870 units. What is the actual cost? They have given me the actual cost as well, 10,285. This will give me my actual rate, 5.5. So here the answer will be 735 adverse. How adverse? Ideally you should have incurred a standard rate of 5 rupee, but you incurred a rate, actual rate of 5.5. 5 रुपए का मटेरियल था, आपने 5.5 पे खरीद लिया. This will be a adverse variance. This will be a adverse variance. So the correct choice will be option A here. The correct choice here will be option A. Next, you need to calculate the material quantity variance from the same question. The formula to calculate material quantity variance is standard quantity minus actual quantity multiplied by the standard price. What is the meaning of standard quantity here? Standard quantity, I need to produce actually 1100 units as output. What is the standard quantity? 2 kg per unit. 2 kg per unit is the standard output, standard quantity that I need. So in order to produce 1100 units, I need to make 2 kg of raw material. That's my standard quantity minus my actual quantity. Actually, I have consumed 1870 kg multiplied by my standard price, which is nothing but 5. Which is nothing but 5 here. The correct choice here will be option C, 1650 favorable. Okay, 1650 favorable. So even if you are not able to solve these questions, don't get depressed. Doesn't matter. First, have a strong grasp on the concepts and formulas of standard costing. Then only you can solve this particular question, right? Next question, you need to calculate the work cost here. You need to calculate the work cost here. A direct and a very simple question. Work cost. What is work cost? Prime cost plus my factory overheads plus the adjustment of WIP. So can I calculate my prime cost? Yes, I can easily calculate. I do have opening stock of raw material. I do have raw material purchase, closing stock of raw material. So these three things will give me my raw material consumed here. Factory overheads. Factory overheads, they have clearly given in the question. I have direct labor, I have direct expenses. So primary cost will be sorted here. What will be my factory overheads? Given in the question. Adjustment of WIP given in the question. Opening stock of WIP, closing stock of WIP. So this will be a homework question for you guys, okay? This will be a homework question for you guys. Next question. This is an interesting question. Here you need to calculate the order level. Order level. This is a new type of question. Order level. What do you mean by order level? कब order करूं? एक ऐसा level आ जाए जब मैं order करूं. एक ऐसा level आ जाए जब मैं order करूं. So the formula to calculate ordering level is nothing but daily consumption. What is my daily consumption multiplied by what is the lead time? That means the minimum time required for the receipt of new material. This is the formula. Plus the minimum stock level. So minimum stock level, they have given me 1000 units. So 1000 units. Maximum stock level, I don't need it as of now. Time required for receipt of direct material, 15 days. That's my lead time, 15 days. Daily consumption, 50 units. So every day I need 50 units and 15 days to minimum lagenge hi, plus I need to keep a minimum stock of 1000. Here the correct choice will be option B, 1750. Okay, 1750. This will be my ordering level. This will be my ordering level. Now this is a very interesting question from the marginal costing chapter. In 2 consecutive period, you are having sales and profits. This is the first period, this is the second period. Your sales is 1,60,000, your profit is 8,000. In second period, your sales is 1,80,000, sales increased, your profit also increased. You need to directly calculate the PV ratio here. You need to calculate the PV ratio here, profit volume ratio. Can you guys do it? This is a question of marginal costing. I think it came in SEBI general examination. A very, very important question for you guys as well. There is a formula to calculate PV ratio. Contribution divided by sales into 100. There is one more formula to calculate PV ratio. Change in contribution divided by change in sales into 100. There is one more formula to calculate PV ratio. Change in profit divided by change in sales into 100. The second formula and the third formula is the same only. The second and the third formula is the same only. Why? Because what will be the change in contribution? It will be purely profit. Contribution has two parts, fixed cost and profit. If contribution is changing, definitely it is because of profit only. So I'll be using the third formula here. Change in profits divided by change in sales into 100. Can you guys calculate it? What is my change in profit? 14,000 minus 8,000 divided by 1.8 lakhs. Change in sales minus 1.6 lakhs into 100. This will be my PV ratio, which will be 30% here. Okay, this will be 30% here. And the last question for today, guys, this will be a homework question, so do let me know in the comment section what do you think should be the correct choice here. Okay, and I truly understand that some of the standard costing questions you won't be able to answer in today's lecture because you haven't studied it yet. Once you are done with the formulas and concepts of standard costing, you will be able to answer it. Okay, so this is a homework question. Later on, do let me know in the comment section what is the correct choice. This is from the batch costing, economic batch quantity. Okay, so there are two parts in this question, part 1 and part 2. You need to solve this later on and let me know in the normal comment section, and then I'll be posting the correct choice in the comment section only. Okay guys, thank you so much for the session. Bye bye, take care, see you soon. So I have covered all the questions, high difficulty level, medium difficulty level, simple level questions. I hope you have enjoyed the session. Bye bye, take care, see you soon.